Like the community decides how much to sell a house for. That's decided.
Okay, okay. Well, let's look at it your way. Let's look at it your way. According to you, you have to, right now. According to that example, if I can find 10 other people to replace me at $10 million a piece or whatever, $3 million a piece, right? Then I take my money. I'm a happy guy, and this neighborhood will always be for the filthy fucking rich.
Fine. So poor people like you and I will have to live in a different neighborhood.
So that's
I don't think the community should have to. Let's subsidize those losers who can't make money, so that they can live in the neighborhood. We'll have to move to the valley.
So because there's an element
here. We might
here.
have to move to Iowa.
Okay, there's an element here that you're leaving out. You're saying, we're talking about how the frum community is exploding wide, right? But everybody that's moving in are paying these incredibly exorbitant prices.
Yeah.
Right? And there's all these filthy rich people. And I wrote about this. I used to be making, in the top 2%, I saw this published, it was like the top 2% in America were
and you couldn't afford to buy a home here.
I can't afford to buy a home here. I can't afford to buy an outhouse here.
Right.
It was like nothing, right? And I was never going to be. I was making the top 2%. So basically what you're saying is you have to be in like the top 1%.
If you want to buy a house here, yeah. I don't have a problem if you have to be in the top 0.001% to live in this.
Right. So everybody else, the rest of us,
have to live somewhere else.
The rest of us can go fuck ourselves.
No, you just have to go live somewhere else. Like, I think there are too many people in California, so maybe you'll have to live in Arkansas.
So here's what we're going to say. That only the filthy fucking rich Jews can live in this neighborhood, and the rest of us can go fuck ourselves, and we can go pack up the truck and head to Arkansas with a bunch of hicks.
Yeah, or you can rent. You can live like 3 in a room. Or you sacrifice. Yeah, I believe in the free market. And if you can't afford to live in a neighborhood, I don't shed any tears for you or for me or for the rabbi. You just may have to move to another neighborhood. There's a lot of very inexpensive real estate on Martin Luther King Boulevard. And an ecumenical person such as yourself, who's beloved by all peoples and races, will go form his own community for poor people on Martin Luther King Boulevard.
I just got through done saying how a Jew wants to live. Even you said a Jew should not separate from the community; they should be part of it. But you're also saying on the other half is that charge them whatever they want to be charged.
Yeah, free market.
So don't you realize how you're talking on two sides at once? On the one hand, you're saying it's free market. All these people can charge whatever the hell they want,
right.
And if you can't afford it, go fuck yourself. And on the other hand, you're saying, you shouldn't separate from the community. You need to be back in there. But
so you can create a community on Martin Luther King Boulevard or Boyle Heights or Arkansas. They're less expensive for communities.
You go try making your own community in some boondocks place. Go try it. Try to convince 9 other families to go move with you. Go for it.
Well, there are less expensive Orthodox neighborhoods in the United States. So
why don't you go to them?
Because I can afford to live here. And I'm happy to live here. Hard-working, all-American, patriotic, much like my viewers, love God, love the United States, love the Constitution, hate communists and socialists and radical feminists and animal rights types, and just like you cut my hand, it bleeds all American red. So I believe in the free market and believe in hard work and sacrifice, and that's what I'm all about. I'm very Republican.
You didn't even answer my thing.
Well,
so you're saying like this: everybody should be part of the community. They should live with the other Jews. So that you made a whole thing about
right,
that.
And if you can't afford to live in one community, you go live in a poorer community or live in an outhouse in the rich community.
We've been this like a couple months ago. We did this with you. It's like if you can't afford it, fuck them. And this is you. This is your.
Yeah. You have to.
You're a hard liner.
I am.
You're a very hard liner.
I am. I don't have sympathy for people who can't afford to live in the neighborhood and then complain about it. I think you should just go to a neighborhood that you can afford to. And I'm against government welfare. I'm against like subsidizing failure, and I think people should work really hard and live modestly if they're poor, like I am, and work hard, study hard.
This is
Stay in school, don't do crap, kids.
Here's what I see from you. You know, remember when I circled back at the beginning. I opened up and I talked about how my book explores how in the frum community, the mainstream probably fills 90% of the road. You know, the middle of the road, and it's going to look like the outsides of the road for the pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, and if you fit into that mainstream, great. And if you don't, if you're like on the sidewalk or in the gutter on either side and you don't fit, you're like, you know, marginalized, they don't give a shit. And it's not, nobody can see that far. And on the one hand, I said that Levi doesn't fit in the mainstream. He's over on the side. But on the same hand, you talk like a typical mainstream frummie who doesn't care. Like if you're on the margins and you're not fitting in, you don't have you have a hard time making money, fuck you. You're on the margins, fuck you. We don't die. Go away. Go away, because we don't want to think about you. And you ostracize and you alienate and you marginalize the people in the margin. But on the same token, you turn around and go, hey, why are you alienating and ostracizing me?
But I never asked why you're alienating or ostracizing me. I know why you're alienating and ostracizing me. What I do say is it emotionally hurts me. But I'm not saying why are you doing it. I know why you're doing it, because I've lived a life that would make many decent people want to alienate and ostracize me.
And I want you to know something. I'm consistent. And I'll tell you why. I don't alienate you for the thing. I don't give a shit. You know, I'm reading your book. I think it's hilarious. I think I read this guy's book, and it's like talks about like his autobiography, and he talks about like for like the last 50. Well, I don't know when it started, but like, you know, it talks about like how he got involved in porn, and he was also getting involved in Judaism at the same time, and like this whole dynamic of being involved in both and getting involved in both simultaneously, and like, you know, he takes us through all these porn experiences and he dumps this whole sex life on this. But what's the point of all this? Why am I bringing it up?
Well, I had sex with some black girls.
Okay. We're not going there. So why am I bringing this up? Because I read this. I'm not like going, oh, I don't want to do Torah talks with him anymore. I'm more bothered by the fact that you put Dennis Prager and quote him when it comes to Torah on your blog. That bothers me. Okay? And what you consider holy in that book is Prager. That bothers me more. The fact that you're, you know, involved in porn and they were banging these shiksas, that doesn't bother me. Maybe it should, but it doesn't. That does not bother me. That I can deal with. See, I can deal. This is my whole outlook on Judaism and everything. When a guy tells me, Rabbi, you know, I know the Torah is the truth and everything, but I'm a sinner, and I know that God doesn't want me to bang these shiksas, but I'm banging these shiksas, or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
I can deal with that. Yeah. That's not a problem to me. That's great. When a guy says to me, you know, Torah says it's okay to believe that the universe was created in billions of years, that's the guy I can't deal with. Because that guy's changing Torah. Because once you change Torah, then you can say, oh, it allows me to have this and allows me to have that, and you just make up your own religion as you go. That bothers me.
I sense that.
Yeah. So that's where we are, right? So I'm reading your book. None of this porn stuff bothers me. It also bothers me to know that it bothers other frummies.
Huh.
And like, how stuck in the mud are they, right? I don't understand their thinking, if there is any thinking there. That like, I went through this before with you. That, yeah. Oh, he can't be a part of our community because this stuff. Right. I'm reading all this stuff about Aish in detail, and I'm going like, I really don't get it. I really don't get what the bug up their ass is. It's like I talked about it before.
Yeah.
It's like there's one aspect of like Aish is the last people on earth